And now I have some aloe vera for my sunburn to keep in the fridge and just like use it over the next few days. Hey guys, I'm Amanda from Rockpile Off-Grid Homestead. We are almost halfway through December, well on the way into what we in Australia here call silly season, and it's summer here. It's a really enjoyable time to go for trips to the beach, for picnics, all the outdoor stuff. So if you didn't notice, I'm actually looking a little bit glowy today, right? But not in a good way. I actually managed to get myself a bit sunburned when I went out to a picnic yesterday and didn't properly protect myself from the Aussie summer sun. Let's see if I can show you guys there. You can see the sunline there. Yeah, I did a good job. When we were growing up, we always had aloe vera plants out the front of our house, and if we had a bite or a sting or sunburn, Mum would just break a stalk off that aloe vera, cut it open, and we would be smeared in that aloe vera gel. So getting myself sunburned made me think of that, and I've got a whole bunch of aloe vera plants. I've actually given some away recently, and what I want to do beyond just cutting it open and like smearing it straight onto me is I would love to try to replicate making an aloe vera gel. I haven't done this before. It might be a total failure. I'm going to give it a go to help soothe my poor burnt skin, and I thought I'd just show you guys and we'll see how we go. Let's go. So first step is harvesting some aloe vera. I didn't realize how crazy these had gone in the pots. So I really have to plant out some of those pups and also find a spot to put it in the ground permanently. That yellowish liquid you can see is not the aloe vera gel, that's the sap, and we have to make sure we clean that off really, really well. Now, just as I harvested the aloe vera with a pair of scissors, I decided to break it down into manageable pieces with the scissors also because it was cutting through it super easy. From here, I will take them over, give them a really good rinse and a really good wash down, getting all that sap off, ready to extract that thick, fleshy inside of the aloe vera plant, which is the aloe vera gel. Now everything is really well rinsed, and I'm wiping off the last of the sap from the bench top, pop the aloe vera onto a clean tea towel, and just pat it dry. I've gathered various cutting implements, a couple of knives. I'm not sure what I'm going to need to actually get the insides out of these aloe vera, so I'm going to try a few different ways, and that's just an inside look at the kind of thick, fleshy bit. The first thing I'm going to do is, with my scissors, you can see there's spines running up each side of the aloe vera. I'm just going to use them to trim off those spines on each piece that I've got cut up there, ready to go. Then once that's done, I essentially just have like a front and a back of the aloe vera leaf to remove. I went into this not knowing 100% sure what would be the best way. That's why I had a variety of knives. I decided not to use a serrated knife at all. That wasn't necessary. The aloe vera is quite soft, so I just used the scissors to cut up. I started with a paring knife to try to slice off one side of the aloe vera leaf, and then I thought I could probably use a paring knife just to slice off that other side of the leaf, just leaving the gel behind. That didn't work, so I had that piece and scraped the gel off with a spoon. Started doing it straight into the bowl. It wasn't very efficient. I placed it on the ground, used the spoon to scrape the gel out of the center. That worked really well. I figured I could just lift it all up and dump it in the bowl afterwards. And it wasn't too long before I realized I can also use the spoon to cut open the aloe vera. So that's what I started doing. My one tool was the spoon, so I used the scissors to harvest it off the plant, cut it into sections, and then I just used a spoon, a normal dessert spoon, just to cut it open and scoop out the guts. And I found that I had to really try hard to keep one hand aloe vera free at least, because it was at this stage it was getting really slimy, really slippery. So I try to keep at least one hand relatively dry and just did the dirty work with the other hand. And we ended up with a big pile of gooey, sticky, jelly stuff. It was actually quite thick, bit gross, and I was thinking about how am I going to strain this out, because it's got like chunks of the skin in there and I wanted like a smoother finish. So I didn't have like a cheesecloth or anything, which looking at it now probably would have been ideal, or maybe like a fine metal strainer. So I initially got a jar thinking, oh, that's going to be big enough for the amount of gel I get out of it. I decided to use a clean tea towel. It was one of my thinnest ones. So I thought that would be okay. And I started squeezing it out. It wasn't easy at all. And this bit's a bit funny. So I'm probably not going to make you watch the whole lot of me trying to squeeze this out of the tea towel. All things considered, I did get quite a lot of the liquid out, but I realized that the jar I had was like way too big. And with the leftover gel, I just thought I'd give it a try pushing through the strainer that I had. It got a little bit more out. That gel is actually getting quite dry to the touch. I mean, it's still squishy, but it doesn't have that real viscous, stretchy, jelly stuff of the stuff that has actually fallen through the bowl. So this is where I go to put it in the jar, and I basically second guess my jar choice and realize that is just, no, that's not going to work. So I'm going to start looking around for something smaller, and it took me a little bit, but I did find an old cosmetics jar that I had cleaned out, and I thought it was quite cute. It was a little amber jar, and it was a perfect size. So I used that instead. I didn't use a funnel. I was hoping that it wasn't all going to go bad. You can see it's quite liquidy, but you can still see the kind of stretchiness of it in there as well. And that fit in there just perfect. And here's a little view of the inside. You can see how it's moving around in there. Now to give it a try. It didn't actually come out of that little jar very well because it was like a bit liquidy and a bit sticky, but I think that with a different applicator, like a pump bottle or a little squeezy tube, that would have been perfect. And I didn't need much actually. Once I put it on my skin, it went on really, really smoothly, which is the advantage of doing that straining. It's all a real even consistency. It soaked in really quickly and was dry to the touch, like in a matter of seconds. There was no sticky residue or anything like that, and my skin felt nice and soft and moisturized. So overall, I think that the product itself is a success, with a few refinements possible along the way. All right, so that is that. Doesn't seem like much, but honestly a little bit goes quite a long way. Where I rubbed it on my hand, that soaked away to almost nothing, and that was just like a touch of my finger. Well, you saw how much I put on there. So this little jar here is maybe like a third to a half full. Now this is the gel stuff that was remaining. I think if I had a better method or more appropriate equipment for the straining part, I would have ended up with more product. I don't know if it's any better than just grabbing a piece of aloe vera off the plant, cutting it open and smearing it on you. But that was a fun little project, and now I have some aloe vera for my sunburn to keep in the fridge and just use it over the next few days as it's healing. Just to soothe it, keep it super moisturized, that sort of thing. And if you'd like to see more of my homemade experiments, I'll pop up a video here of a recent DIY surface cleanser made from just 2 ingredients that you probably have around the house right now. All right, that's me for now. Thanks guys for joining me today. See you later. Bye.